I remember the
Oh, is
dance.
it the Princess dance?
Yeah,
I love
and the
it. Well, good
I'm not
evening.
Boshorik.
My play. I'm out here trying to say hi to everybody. May I?
Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Improv Mlazi. Good evening. The show is TrendingSA, and the name is Refilwe. Welcome. I'm with my forever favorite. It's my play, the one that cannot be, what's the word?
I'm just
contained.
going deeper, deeper.
Deeper. Oh, gorgeous.
Deeper
But we all know I'm your actual favorite.
So this is my for real favorite, Alma Capelma. Sorry, my play. I don't like to choose favorites, but today I
Can I
just
tell
did.
something?
Yeah.
Do you know something? Whenever somebody says, but I'm your favorite, that's middle child syndrome. You're not really. See, the favorite always knows. Like, middle child, but I'm the favorite. Yeah, but anyway.
We love you because you always have a rebuttal, and that's the way you roll.
In my opinion, tonight's guest is a young woman who personifies the phrase, the hardest working girl in the industry.
Yes.
I'm going to do this very presenter style. In just a little over 2 years, Holly Ray has turned up the volume in the house scene, and she hasn't stopped voshoing ever since. We've been following this busy starlet on the socials and are keen to learn what more she's busy with. How was that? Welcome to the show.
Beautiful. I feel like I'm
Holly
really
Ray?
being introduced.
You know what I'm saying?
Like
That was
real,
a proper introduction.
Like I did it
introduction.
I did it award style.
Yeah, you welcome me in style. Yeah, for sure.
Holly, 2020 has been an interesting year for a lot of musicians.
Yeah.
We saw music just sprouting out, up and about. I just want to ask, in terms of the Holly that was writing music before lockdown and the Holly that had to write music during lockdown, what's the difference?
It was so much harder. Like, I'd prayed for all this time to make music because I'd been on the road and I was so busy. But then you're sitting at home, you can't go out and like get the creativity that you usually get.
Get the vibe.
You're looking at the same four walls for like however many months, and now it's so hard to find inspiration. But I think that it definitely forced me to tap into sides of myself that I didn't really know. And I think the music that I wrote in lockdown is a lot more mature because lockdown forced me to be a lot more introspective. So I think that the music is it's a more mature Hollywood.
Are you going to go piano?
I've done some Amapiano features, but I don't think I will do like an Amapiano song for me because I'm not an Amapiano artist. It's not true to who I am. And I think that's the thing that I've always said in my career is I'm always true. House music is what I eat, sleep, breathe. It's who I am as a person. It's how I express myself. So I think if I made Amapiano, it would be ingenuine, you know?
Okay, so what I loved reading about your backstory is the fact that you earned an honors degree cum laude
Yeah.
Come through.
in 2019 in media and communication
Whilst
studies.
you were so busy, by the way, right?
You know, all this music stuff. And your project was focusing on decoding gender inequality on popular South African telenovela Uzalo.
Yes.
Deep. Are you going to become Dr. Holly Ray?
That's my goal. I want to be Dr. Holly Ray. I do want to do my PhD. I've started looking at my masters and sort of like what topics I want to do.
Lovely.
And the beginning of the year, I was like, let me do my masters. And I was like, no, I'm going to be too busy this year. And then lockdown happened. And I was like, I literally could have done my whole masters while I was sitting at home. So yeah, I mean, I have started thinking about my masters, the topics I want to do. I'm really interested in looking at sort of gender inequality within the music industry, so taking kind of from television and focusing on the industry that I'm in. It was such an interesting topic to do because I think Uzalo is so popular. It is the most popular telenovela in South Africa. So to kind of look at like hegemonic identity and what are we doing as a society in terms of television to change that.
And I'm sure there are not many academics who have the level of access you have.
For sure. I mean, I'm
That's
friends
key.
with a lot of the Uzalo actors, so it made it a lot easier to get access to information.
Well, what's going to be interesting for me is you interrogating the actual space that you're in, right? Because you're watching the subjects whilst you are the subject.
For
So
sure.
that I'm looking forward to as well.
And I think also, like, being the first woman in 20 years, I think that's what kind of pushed me, is I was the first woman in 20 years to win a SAMA for Record of the Year. And it kind of forced
come on.
Yes.
Thank you.
There we go.
It forced me to look at the industry and be like, why?
Yeah, why is that
It's not that we haven't had amazing female artists with amazing songs. It's just we haven't given them the same support as their male counterparts. So I think that's what really opened my mind to we need to talk about it more.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm going to pivot just a little bit and just get a little lighter. During lockdown, we all got creative, right?
Yes.
And people were baking, cooking left, right, and
Yes.
centre. You, my friend, did the same thing.
Yes.
Talk to me about your cooking show with your sister and
It is,
whose
yeah.
idea it was. Well, let's take a look. Before I ask you, let's take a look at that, actually. That lovely video of you guys just chopping it up in the kitchen. She's like, watch the spatula, Holly. Come on. Whose idea was it?
The pancakes are burning.
Exactly. Whose idea was this? It's so adorable.
We started baking, and I was just like posting on my Instagram stories, and people were like, "We love this. You guys are so funny."
gorgeous.
So we decided to actually shoot it like a little cooking show where people can cook along with us. And Mimi loved it every day because we would shoot like a few things in a day. She would get so excited to shoot the stuff, to bake with me. We do everything together, so it was just like it was really
Why
like
not?
inviting people into our kitchen. It wasn't staged, it wasn't acted. It was just, and it was so much fun. And we're really excited that it's growing into something much bigger than we thought it would.
Well, speaking of things that aren't staged, we sure do like to stage things from time to time. We have a surprise for you.
What?
Yes. What?
Hello, Mimi.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, baby.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Oh, I miss you so much.
Miss you too.
I haven't seen her in such a while, so this is literally making me cry.
Mimi, I just want to ask you, what do you enjoy so much about baking with Holly?
The first thing is I get to hang out with my sister every day. And we always have fun. We listen to music. And it's just a lot of fun.
I love
Mimi, Mimi, you are my queen of carpool karaoke. Like,
Yes.
I love what you guys do when you're in the car together. Are we going to get another video of you just jamming it up in the car?
Yes, I think so.
What's your
I love
What's your favorite song right now?
Beg your pardon?
What's your favorite song right now?
I think all of them.
The answer is anything Holly sings.
Anything Holly.
Awesome.
That's so cute.
And that's
Thank you for joining us, Mimi.
You're welcome.
Bye, Nunu.
Bye.
I love the
So,
personality.
what happens at the Ray House during Christmas? Like,
Chaos.
if I'm in Durban and I'm choosing like a place to go for Christmas, what can I expect when I walk into the Ray House?
You need to come with an empty stomach, first of all.
Okay. Sure.
Because otherwise you're going to need to be wheelbarrowed out of there. My family's all about food. Like, that's food and music. Like, that's how we celebrate.
Gorgeous.
There's always food and music at every gathering. So I think definitely you need to come ready to eat. You need to come ready to sing, to dance, to laugh. Like, that's what my family is about. We're all really loud. And it gets louder because we kind of like compete.
Holly Ray?
Yeah.
Merry Christmas in advance.
Merry
Thank you so
Christmas
much for
to
your
you
time,
too.
your
Thanks for having
fabulosity,
me.
and sharing your sister, your wonderful sister, with
such a
this world,
pleasure.
and your talent as well.
Thank you so
really
much.
appreciate
and
it.
thanks for having me.
It was
Always a
lovely to
pleasure.
have you on the show. After the break, we'll take a closer look at what went viral this year with Sipho Says, someone who's not shy to share his thoughts on this matter. Welcome back. You're still tuned to the one show that keeps you up to date with everything happening in your world. Now, although we had strict lockdown regulations this year, something we didn't know from before, people still managed to create content that went properly viral, whether intentionally and then sometimes also not so intentionally. We're going to look back at the ones that kept us talking for days, and here to help us, the one and only Sipho Says.
good. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me.
Fantastic.
Great.
Very excited to be here.
You sat down and you assumed the position and you said,
I'm getting
"Let's do
to the
this."
groove, you know?
Yeah.
There was like a small groove I was trying to find.
You're
I
like
got
an
it.
athlete. You're going to clap one of those now.
Sipho. Yes,
As
sir.
someone who's always creating content, I always ask myself, because I try to create things that are going to go viral, but it never viralizes, you know?
Right.
That's not a word.
It never gets virulent.
No,
virulent.
It never viralizes.
Never viralizes.
Don't learn words from Uncle Mable. Whatever you do, don't take notes when he speaks.
What is it? Is there like an art to it, or it's just pure luck?
Listen, trying to follow an art when creating content about creating viral content is it's the hardest thing ever. You literally never know when something is going to like catch on, what's going to happen. It's easy to be topical and say, we're going to speak about this because it happened this week.
Yeah.
But in terms of how you deliver it, or maybe you hit a sweet spot, the time that you drop it, anything can happen in terms of like it going viral. So you definitely can't call it. And I feel like if you try to go viral, that's when you like really miss the mark. But if you're being natural in your content, and half the time stuff that catches our attention is always that stuff that we never expected.
You're basically saying you were born with it.
You got it or you don't got it.
But also remember last year there was that Higu Beldi Polisie video. That was so 2019, and that clearly wasn't aimed for viral stars.
Is it Yuki? This is I'm finding that out for the first time. I thought it was Hugo.
No, it's Higu.
I won't lie.
Now you
I
don't
was
know.
with you.
I was hoping it was Hugo Bell, the police.
Beldi Polisie.
Oh, so Yuki.
You see, it was me. You never knew this.
People.
I'm joking.
I was about to give you your flowers.
It wasn't really me. Okay, so tell me about the stuff that really stood out for you this year.
Man, I don't know. When it comes to lockdown content, I feel like nobody saw it coming. And then most, I mean, of course, nobody saw it coming. Hence, we're in it. But like, the stuff that I really started to like locally was all this content that we started to become bakers.
Yeah.
You know, we started baking banana bread.
For sure.
We started making amagwenya. And that content was dope. And I used to tell my friends, I'm like, think about all the content of the amagwenyas that never made it to the Instagrams and the Twitters. You know, because people share all the stuff that went well. But there's so many banana bread
They
that never
did
made
not
it.
just share the stuff that went well.
And all
Oh
the
my
pineapple
goodness.
beers that exploded.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people are just like, I never tried anything, but you're at home trying something, and it just never happened.
I even baked a 3-tier cake.
Three-tier cake.
Hold me. I was just there with a spatula, just putting layers and layers.
Okay, quick vote. Who believes my Blair?
It's on my Instagram.
Not me. Oh, you
It's
got
on
proof.
my
Darn it.
Instagram.
But did you
All right.
eat it?
I did. That's why I came back. When we started the show, Alma, I was at least 7 kilograms bigger.
So that explains.
That
We're
explains
just
it.
Okay, so,
eating at home and crying yourself to sleep.
so in terms of
'Cause
another
your
spot
friends can't
vote,
come.
we also chose some personal favorites here at TrendingSA.
All right.
Let's take a look at some videos that caught our eyes over the year.
Moral service when his sister made these shocking claims.
Lebohang was in pain. It turns out his wife had brought a man into the house. Please, don't you dare. That's it. That's it. Cannot. She brought a man into my brother's house. She brought a man into my brother's house.
Too much happened in 2020, but I think that's still up there, right?
That is still up there. This is like a late entry into like the video of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the classic thing that you kind of hope happens at a funeral. Cause
You hope for
you know,
it. Oh,
you're
okay.
sitting there. It's like it's already doom and gloom.
you
We've
want
lost
this to
somebody.
happen at your
And
funeral?
you're sitting there, you know what? Somebody must be like Sipho and like he owes me 50 rand. And I know it's not the time to speak about it, but since all his family and friends are here, I'm thinking you guys can just, one of you has it on you right now. You know what I mean? Then it's like, now it's a funeral.
Okay, so make Sipho's funeral so dramatic. There's another one. Let's take a look at this next video.
Chief, are you okay? Are you well here? Are you well here? Serious?
So the things we do for love.
This is John Vuliboot. You see? Narcissisto.
Before.
Yeah.
And I love that video so much because, I mean, lockdown took away so much from people. You know? Lovers couldn't meet up. imagine something you just started at the beginning of the year. And now suddenly you guys, obviously it's too early for you guys to move into each other. And then you lose connection. That man was going
Have you ever
above and
met
beyond.
anyone that would make you snorkel yourself in the boot of a car during level 5 lockdown and get into trouble like this?
Yes. There was times during level 5 I was just like, yes.
Zippo, you strike me as the type of guy that has crossed a toll gate for some late night snack. You know what you've done a lot if you've crossed a toll gate.
I am a law-abiding citizen, but lockdown, I feel like the rules were blurred a little bit.
Blurred. Okay, rules, China. Let's take a look at the final video that caught our attention this year.
Name something that makes your heart beat faster. Anger. Huh? Anger. 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 Angry. Anger. When you're angry. Oh, angry. Oh.
Okay, so that was the Ghana version of Family Feud, and Homeboy was trying to tell Steve Harvey that anger makes your heart beat. So, guys, you know this thing of when you're in a foreign country, shouting at people is not going to help them understand you better. I feel like, what could he have done better? Should he have spelt out the word from the word go?
He should have just said, maybe rub his tummy. And you're right, it's hard for you to come.
He was saying anger, not anger.
It's like, no, guys, anger.
This sounds like every Zoom, Skype, video, Teams meeting in the beginning. What did you say? No, your microphone's
Your microphone is off.
Your microphone is off. You're muted.
That's exactly, that's what lockdown has been like, actually, consistently repeating yourself.
And lost in translation. Lost in translation. Okay, you are staying right here. We're keeping you until after the ad break.
All right.
Stay with us because Sipho says is going nowhere. See you just now.
I want to arrogantly say this. Welcome to the only show that matters. And that's TrendingSA right here on SABC3. We're still with Sipho says. Guys, Elma,
Mable,
your snow bunny moment? We're about to play Hot Seats with Ta.
Am I sitting on the hot seat?
At least we don't have MacG again, guys.
So we first played this game with MacG a couple of months ago. So what we're going to do is that there are a couple questions here. Okay. This is a microaggression.
It's very shady.
It's very shady.
You must prepare yourself.
You pick up a piece of paper, you read it, you decide who you want to ask that question around the table.
All right.
So I'll start.
We're not going to make it.
I always start.
Hi.
Sipho, this one's for you.
All right.
Has your boyfriend or girlfriend ever embarrassed you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was speaking about an ex of mine from a very long time ago, but
no, your current one.
Nah.
You must wash that dirty laundry. Wash it.
Nah.
Sipho, your turn.
Currently,
Sipho, you don't get to ask a question if you don't answer it. Come now.
What was the situation?
I'm saying with the current, no, but I was going to take you guys back.
How are you going to lie
actual...
like that on TV?
I'm telling you, maybe it took you guys. I don't know. Still the honeymoon looks.
All right. Answer, give us a question.
Guys, I'm
Mable,
feeling
let him off the hook, eh?
so hard.
I'm going to ask you, what is your guilty pleasure?
Oh, it's got to be watching endless movies when I'm meant to be working. I'm the queen of procrastination. Korean dramas.
Korean dramas.
36 episodes, like 45 hours per episode.
And they
That's my jam.
drag. Nothing happens. Literally 6 episodes later, they haven't even texted.
At the end,
goodness.
the pinkies touch, and you know they're in love, and you're like, oh, so romantic.
Sounds like some
That's my jam.
freaky stuff. What are you into?
Ooh.
Nene. Nene.
Mable,
Oh, yes.
if you could go back in time and erase one thing you said or did, what would it be?
I can't wait.
He's going to be hopping all over that timeline.
No,
but anyway.
I'm not. I'm just. There was a racial slur that I used to hear when I was a kid in the township. And then I was about 6 or 7, and I was in a bus, a fully packed bus from Umlazi to town, and then I saw the person from the other race, and I just looked at my mother and said, "Ma, there is a boo!" And we had to get off the next stop because my mom was so embarrassed.
And did you know at the time?
I didn't know it was a racial slur. I heard that's what they called these people, and I said it as a kid.
Embarrassing your mother.
Luckily,
Your poor mother, ne?
And it wasn't her fault.
luckily you didn't tweet it. Times have changed now.
I was 7.
You wouldn't be here talking about it.
Okay. If you had to choose...
Who are you asking?
Oh, I'm trying to figure out now. Who's Sipho?
Yes.
If you had to choose between going naked or having your thoughts appear in thought bubbles above your head for everyone to read, which would you choose?
Oh my goodness, I have to go naked. I cannot afford for people to see what's going on in my head. Because there's a lot that goes on in here.
Pass the bucket, let me... I hope... Actually, you know, the questions today are actually quite nice.
Are you handling them?
Oh, there. Oh, Rufine.
Yeah.
What are some of the things you think about when sitting on the toilet?
Bill.
I'm sure it's going to be super
It's
intellectual.
not even a lot. Chances are I've like put the speaker on blast and I'm still listening to a podcast.
Oh, please.
Why think
I
you can
told
listen?
you,
She's
intellectual.
Like a calming voice while you're
She's
sitting there.
probably thinking,
just
she's
listening to a
probably
show,
thinking,
enjoying.
what did Charles Darwin smell like?
Oh.
Must have been like pearls.
Well,
It's
I'm
something-
generally perusing or thinking about the Magna Carta and, you know, things
She just
like
said
that.
perusing, guys. Perusing.
While on that, she just said Oprah's voice at that time.
You've got the
One
last
more
one.
for you. And we hope...
Let's let me
Please peruse a
dig
good one
deeper.
there.
Yeah, let's go.
Let me go deeper.
Deeper than before.
I'll ask you over here.
Yeah.
Have you ever peed in the pool?
Oh, definitely.
Hasn't
You
everyone?
said that like you did it yesterday. Oh, yeah.
Who
Just before I
hasn't?
got here.
Who hasn't peed in the pool? I mean, have you ever swam in a pool?
You know now they've got that that blue liquid. So when you pee, there's blue liquid.
there's a
forms
blue,
around you.
yeah.
Are you a child who goes to swim at the only neighbour in the street who has a pool's house, and then you've not pissed in that pool? Definitely everyone's done that. If you haven't, congratulations, you're the only one who gets out of 2020 scot-free with no guilt on your name. Thank you so much for joining us, Sipho. It was lovely to have you on the
Pleasure being here,
show.
guys.
Thank you
so
for
much.
not being shady with this
Elma,
game.
maybe we should carry on afterwards. For after whatever. We have to finish this
guy never wants to go.
After dark.
Okay, but if you don't feel like Tsar After Dark, we'll see you again with another installment. If you want more Tsar After Dark, go look on our socials. Cheers.